My name is Kayla Cherry, and I talk about films and all the things going on within them. American Psycho is a great movie, but for a long time, I was resistant to watching it. I had only known 3 things about it: its title, the business card scene, and the morning routine sequence. Something about these bits and pieces of the film didn't click with me. They felt cold, chauvinistic, and unbelievably male-coded. I had placed American Psycho in the same category of boy movie as films like Pulp Fiction or Fight Club. Good movies, but movies that were ultimately made by, targeted to, and embraced by men. Particularly the obnoxious, toxic, and misogynistic ones. I vowed to never let a man show me American Psycho. Then, I let a man show me American Psycho. At first, I wasn't excited, but he insisted. To my surprise, I really enjoyed the film. In my passive viewing of the movie through bits and pieces online or the occasional pop culture reference, I never picked up on the film's truly satirical tone. I understood right away that American Psycho is not an endorsement of psychotic behavior, masculine superiority, or capitalist society. It was an indictment of those very things. Despite this all being very obvious to me, over the years, American Psycho started to develop a cult following among a group of dejected young men online. Incels, men who believe they cannot get women and make it into everyone's problem, have taken on the film's main character, Patrick Bateman, as one of their own, a symbol for their community. Which is interesting considering that the book the film was based on was written by a gay man and the movie written and directed by 2 women. American Psycho, at its core, should be rejected by this group of men, as it is quite literally making fun of them. So why do men love American Psycho so much? And what does a film that seems on the surface so anti-feminist have to offer women? Hello, editing Kayla here. For some reason during the video, I repeatedly call Jared Leto's character Paul Allen Tim Allen, as in famed actor, Buzz Lightyear voice actor Tim Allen, and that is not the character's name. It's Paul. I've seen the movie at least 3 times, but I was cooked from the beginning. It was even in the script. For some reason, I just thought that Paul Allen's name was Tim Allen. So I correct it in subtitles. You'll see a little asterisk, but yeah. Tim Allen. Welcome to American Psycho. American Psycho is written by Bret Easton Ellis and released in 1991. The film takes place on Wall Street and follows a young professional, or yuppie, named Patrick Bateman. The book follows Bateman's descent into madness in extreme detail, with a number of scenes depicting the graphic murders of women. American Psycho was inspired by Ellis's own experience of watching himself given to greed and consumerism. The result was a novel lauded in controversy. Feminists spoke out against American Psycho, including Gloria Steinem, with some female authors rallying around to boycott the book altogether. Yet, the story was enticing enough to warrant a movie deal. Eventually, Mary Harron was approached to direct the film, and she agreed. She collaborated with Genevieve Turner on the screenplay, their goal being to tone down the violence and tone up the satire. The film focuses more on how Bateman gets ready for his murders, more so than the grisly acts themselves. In this way, the emphasis is not on the spectacle of the violence, but on the absurdity of the behavior. Patrick Bateman was played by Christian Bale, then an actor on the rise. For a brief moment, Leonardo DiCaprio was considered for the role when the script left Mary Harron's hands and was passed around to different directors. However, he was dissuaded from pursuing the role because of his heartthrob status to teenage girls at the time. And thank God for that, because Christian Bale was perfect for the role. He understood that Bateman was, before anything else, a loser. In Murders and Adaptations, Gender and Perspective in Mary Harron's American Psycho by Laura Mee, she writes, Bale imagined him as pathetic, and certainly not a cool guy. His performance has been described as hammy, but Bateman is not vastly different in the book, where he frequently embarrasses himself in awkward social interactions with his clumsy attempts at smoothness. Bale's performance allows the character to be more readily mocked as he emphasizes Bateman's loser nature. Turner noted how men had approached her since the film's release claiming, "Wow, I am Patrick Bateman. Are you saying you're a dork or a serial killer?" became her standard response. An example of Bateman's pathetic nature is in the business card scene. In this scene, Patrick and his coworkers sit at a conference table and compare nearly identical looking business cards. Despite the fact they are barely any different from one another, Bateman can hardly hold his composure. When his rival, Tim Allen, presents his business card, Patrick goes into an internal monologue about how immaculate Alan's card is, making his own inferior. By the end of the scene, Bateman drops the card on the table, causing another coworker to ask if he's okay. This scene is a PG dick measuring contest. It not only shows the apex of Bateman's insecurity, it shows how incredibly lame he is. Only a lame person cares so much about other people in comparison to themselves. And yet, this is the exact behavior echoed by a particular group of men online who see themselves in Patrick Bateman. These are the incels. More specifically, the Sigma males. An incel is a member of an online community of men who feel they cannot sexually attract women. Because of this, they resent women for their inability to get laid. They will fall back on the misogynistic doctrine that women only want traditionally masculine men, tall, buff, handsome, and rich. In this context, women are inherently superficial. Because of this, they only want men like the one I just described because of all these men have to offer to them, instead of the less attractive, less monetarily advantageous, nice guys like the incel. They don't stop at hating women though. They also hate those desirable men, known as chads, for always being able to get the girl, despite being worse people than the honorable incel. Within this dichotomy, there are further breakdowns for the type of man that one can be. The main three are alpha males, sigma males, and beta males. According to the incel community, there is value in being an alpha, and there is value in being a sigma, but you do not want to be a beta. An alpha male is your classic stereotypical definition of a man. As said before, he's tall, handsome, strong, a provider, the leader of the pack, so to speak. A beta, however, is someone who is weak, subservient, and God forbid, respectful to women. If you pay on the first date, beta behavior. You would never survive in the wild with the wolves. In other words, to the incel community, you're a bitch. If an alpha is leader of the pack, the sigma is a lone wolf. He is focused and provides for himself and himself only. Think of the meme of the majestic wolf looking off to the distance at the beautiful yet moody background. This is how the sigma sees himself. Constance Grady for Vox writes that the sigma male is so hypermasculine and independent that he needs no human connection and thus is superior to everyone else. And it is this group of men in particular who have latched onto American Psycho. It's not hard to find TikTok edits or Instagram reels featuring Bateman with his particular smirk, now known as Sigma face, clips of men recreating his morning routine, or genuine tips on how to get the same physical build as Patrick. This is a fictional character, by the way. When it comes to men in American Psycho, you've never seen someone miss the point so severely. The joke quite literally has gone over these guys' heads. Bret Easton Ellis, Mary Harron, and Genevieve Turner all went out of their way to make Bateman as a character a parody of toxic masculinity. Harron and Turner doing this in the film by using a female point of view to call attention to the absurdity of male behavior. AV Cub writes, the difference is that the film uses what has been termed the female gaze. The female director, Harron, a female co-writer, Genevieve Turner, sees something in this material that possibly alluded to Ellis. At its heart, murderous yuppie protagonist Patrick Bateman is pathetic. Other writers and filmmakers have attempted to satirize their male anti-heroes, but they often get caught up in the character's bullshit rhetoric and end up making them too likable or dynamic. Not Harron and Turner. Why then have all these men taken on American Psycho as a sort of manifesto? I think there are multiple aspects at play here. The first, I think, is a general decrease in media literacy among young people. We are taking things at face value and just running with them. I think that Sigma males see a suave, sexy, successful man who's able to get away with little murder, and they both envy and aspire towards being someone like that. Sigma males cannot see the satire. They think the film is laughing with them, not at them. It is also not shocking that a group of men that does not think highly of women would enjoy watching them get killed on screen in fantastical ways. I'm not saying that these men want to actually commit violence towards women, but that the film is a catharsis for all that aggression they hold towards them. That emotional release is, again, preventing these men from seeing the true message of American Psycho. Even Harron doesn't understand why the film is so significant with Sigma males. To Letterboxd, she said, I'm not sure why it happened, because Christians very clearly are making fun of them. But people read the Bible and decide they should go and kill a lot of people. People read The Catcher in the Rye and decide to shoot the president. I do think that, despite everyone's best efforts, from Bret Easton Ellis to Mary Harron to Christian Bale to make Patrick Bateman unlikable, there's a certain charm to him that is hard to ignore. I think a charm like that is needed in order to make a character like Bateman work. Serial killers are known to be very personable, likable, even attractive. Countless people dress up like Patrick Bateman for Halloween every year, and I will be one of them. There's undoubtedly a cultural resonance that expands far beyond the manosphere we have to consider when talking about American Psycho. I think there's great potential for the film to be important to a group of people that is the exact opposite of the incels, young women. As I said earlier, American Psycho has not had the best reputation with women. The book is undeniably graphic and violent, with scenes I can't even begin to describe on this platform. And the film is not safe from this either. The scene I find most disturbing is when Bateman invites two prostitutes over for a threesome, and when they're sleeping, goes into the kitchen and opens a drawer full of sharp tools as he says, "We're not done yet." In the next shot, the women are battered, bruised, and visibly shaken as Bateman hands them money and they shuffle out the door. It is true that women are not treated well in the film. Bateman disregards his fiancée, cheating on her with her best friend, a barely conscious pill addict who he also sees as disposable. Only one woman seems to evade the brunt of Bateman's aggressions. His assistant, Jean, played by Chloe Sevigny. Woo! Chloe Sevigny! We love Chloe Sevigny! Jean is shy yet abiding, and definitely into her boss. When you suggest that she comes wearing a skirt instead of pants, the next time you see Jean, she has taken Bateman's advice. He invites her to dinner at Dorsia, the fanciest restaurant in town, and one where he can't get a reservation to save his life. When at his apartment, Jean sits on the couch innocently, telling him of her goals for career and love as he tests out different tools to kill her, quite literally behind her back. When he gets left a sensual message on the answering machine, Jean is disillusioned with Bateman's interest in her. She believes he only wanted her there for a quick hookup, when his intentions were truly much more sinister. Jean becomes the only living woman to become privy to Bateman's violent nature. When she finds his planner near the end of the film, she is shocked to find it is full of horrific drawings of women being murdered. She acts as a reflection of the audience as she flips through, drawings only becoming more and more grotesque with each page she turns. Jean's reaction to this discovery is a reminder to the audience that Bateman is not just awkward, or a loser, or a goof. He's a terrifying serial killer. American Psycho makes an effort to connect to a female audience through subtle nods to the female experience. My favorite of these is when the prostitute Bateman picks up again in the film and his friend, played by Genevieve Turner, are now at the deceased Tim Allen's apartment, which Bateman tries to play off as his own. He goes into a long-winded tangent about the magnificence of Whitney Houston. The camera cuts to the women on the couch, looking bored out of their minds. Every woman knows the feeling of having to listen to a man drone on and on about something they either already know about or don't know about, couldn't care less about, and didn't ask to know more about. But it is a classically misogynistic behavior for men to believe that their thoughts are inherently interesting, so they end up talking more to themselves than to the women in the room. It's flourishes like this, in-jokes for the female audience, that make a film that on the surface seems so hyper-masculine into a true feminist commentary on masculinity in our culture. Girls get the joke, and we're laughing alongside the writers at all the guys who don't. American Psycho has been a polarizing piece of media for as long as I've been alive. It is as beloved as it is maligned, embraced and rejected by many. Despite this, the movie, more so than the book, has remained highly culturally relevant, with there even being talks of a remake that I am actively manifesting against. The reason I'm not down for a reboot, because American Psycho is so perfect in its intention, execution, and delivery of its message. Although the incel community has made it their prerogative to dispel this message, the point of American Psycho is clear. Hypermasculinity will lead you to insanity. The film has so much more to offer women than it does to incels, as the film was written and directed by two women, giving American Psycho a female perspective that is needed to make such a gruesome tale work for the screen. There is a resonance and respect that the film has for women that I don't think a remake can recapture, because the original film was made by women. So, for your next girls' night, get out the charcuterie board, pop open a glass of wine, and turn on American Psycho. When you really think about it, American Psycho is just a really fucked up Hallmark movie. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe for more content from me. I try to upload every month. I had a little bit of a hiatus, but we're gonna get back into it very soon. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.